You weren't abandoned. You were hidden, because your presence would have healed what God wasn't ready to restore yet. The silence you feel, it's heaven whispering louder than your doubt. Someone tried to bury you in loneliness. God used it as a womb. You're not crazy. You just hear what others learn to ignore. This ache in your chest, that's where God pressed his hand too long. You've outgrown what they loved about you. That's why they stopped calling. You weren't left behind, you were left apart. For glory, the one you can't stop dreaming of, they're dreaming of you too. You keep hearing their name because their soul is calling yours back. They lied. You are not hard to love. You are hard to forget. You didn't ruin it. You revealed it. Someone you loved is repenting in a room you'll never enter again. God isn't punishing you. He's protecting you from the future you begged for. That delay saved your life. You just don't see the fire behind you. They don't miss you yet, but they will. God made sure of it. There's a reason your presence still haunts the room after you've gone. You've become the prayer they're too ashamed to say aloud. They couldn't handle your heart, but now it's the only thing they crave. You're not hard to love. You just loved someone who couldn't hold glory. You were their miracle, but they were too blind to kneel. The moment you stopped chasing was the moment they began to feel. They'll see your name in a blessing they can't receive. The angels delayed your meeting, because this time it has to last. You think it's over, but heaven just turned the page. They had access to your presence. Now they only have memories. The silence between you both is a prophecy not yet fulfilled. You still walk in their dreams. They just don't confess it out loud. God is making them remember what they begged to forget. You carry the kind of love people write psalms about. You didn't lose them. You were loaned to them for awakening. You feel their absence because they still carry your energy. What they did in secret, God is exposing in their sleep. You weren't too much. They were too little. Your love was pure, so they treated it like poison. The pain was the sign you touched something eternal. God didn't let you forget because the connection wasn't human. You are the message their soul is still decoding. They didn't ghost you. God muted them. The more you let go, the closer they feel. You were their test. They chose ego over eternity. They called you crazy, not knowing you were their revelation. Don't chase anyone who made you question your divinity. You're not lost. You're being found in slow motion. You don't miss them. You miss who you became with them. Their heart aches, but their pride is louder. You are proof love can resurrect the dead. They hurt you because you reflected the light they killed inside themselves. You are the one their soul begged God not to lose. This isn't heartbreak. It's spiritual labor. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. You were never meant to stay invisible. Your light is becoming undeniable. They can't delete you from their life without erasing their destiny. When you walked away, their protection left with you. You're not forgotten. You're being divinely timed. Someone's praying for another chance. With you, you're the answer to a prayer they didn't realize they whispered. They acted fine, but heaven saw the tears they hid in sleep. They touched your body, but never deserved your soul. God let you feel that rejection to prove you're worth the kind that stays. They're still in love, but silence became their curse. You gave them glory. They responded with guilt. Don't settle for someone who treats your spirit like noise. What's about to return isn't just a person, it's alignment. You're not alone. They feel it too. You left, yet your absence keeps rearranging their thoughts. You didn't overreact. You finally noticed. Their denial has an expiration date. God is counting. The connection didn't die. It just went underground. You were their mirror. They smashed you because they saw themselves. You aren't healing alone. Heaven assigned angels to your name. Don't look back. What's ahead remembers you. They'll scroll and see your face when they think they've healed. You didn't deserve that silence, but God will use it for prophecy. You were meant to be unforgettable. That's why they still feel you. You're not blocked. You're burned into them. This longing isn't madness. It's memory echoing through the spirit. Every time you wanted to quit, your name got whispered in heaven. Your heartbreak made you magnetic. They felt you leave, but their soul was too numb to scream. You loved someone who had never been held that deeply. They didn't mean to hurt you. They just didn't know how to hold heaven. Your silence is louder than their apologies would be. When they said goodbye, something holy left the room. You made them feel sacred. That scared them. You don't miss them. You miss who you thought they were. Your spirit is what their heart still begs for. Stop praying for closure. The door was never meant to shut. The truth is, they know you were the one. You are the unfinished sentence in every prayer they whisper now. You were the beginning. They chose the end. Their punishment is remembering you during moments that should have been yours. They don't deserve your silence, but they earned it. You aren't too sensitive. You were sent to feel what others numb. You woke them up. They ran. Now they dream of your voice. You carry a kind of love that breaks timelines. You forgave what you never even deserved. They didn't run from you. They ran from conviction. You are not forgotten. You are forecasted. The next time they see you, you'll look like answered prayer. What left you crying will come back crawling. You became their favorite memory and their deepest regret. What you loved in them was your reflection. They remember your laughter like a prayer they never deserved. You thought it was heartbreak. It was initiation. Even now, they carry your name like a scar under their smile. You were their soul's alarm clock. They hit snooze. You didn't ruin it. You revealed what they could never hold. Your love wasn't too intense. They were too shallow. Someone is about to confess what their silence tried to kill. Their karma isn't losing you. It's watching you be loved correctly. You are the prophecy they weren't ready to become. They buried your worth in their fear. But roots remember light. You thought you were too much. You were actually too holy. Their silence is stitched with your name. The ones who ignored your heart will regret God ever sent it. Your light is haunting those who dimmed it. They left because love terrified them more than loneliness. You gave them access. They gave you absence. They couldn't replace you, only run from the reminder. You walked away, but your spirit stayed behind to finish its work. Your absence is a sermon they can't unhear. You aren't forgotten. You're being remembered exactly on schedule. Every tear became proof you didn't belong in shallow places. Someone is rehearsing their apology in their dreams. They blamed your honesty because it exposed their lies. You are not waiting. You are being positioned. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. The call is holy. Answer it now. You weren't abandoned. You were marked for a love no ordinary soul could carry. Your heart isn't broken. It's being reborn. God didn't forget you. He's preparing a witness for your miracle. They didn't reject you. They rejected the healing you carried. Every silence from them is God's way of speaking louder. You weren't too intense. You were too divine. That ache isn't punishment, it's prophecy. They didn't walk away from you. They walked away from God's answer. Your tears were recorded. Heaven moves when you weep. You were never too much. You were the moment. You were the fire they prayed for, until it asked them to burn. Even their silence confirms your spirit still haunts them. You didn't lose them. You exposed them. God blocked the text because your destiny needed quiet. They forgot you, but your name still echoes through their blessing. The person who hurt you is praying you reach back. They didn't know they were breaking a covenant. Your heart holds resurrection. You're not hard to love. They're just scared to kneel. They felt peace in your presence. That's what scared them. Your absence will teach them everything your love tried to. The delay isn't rejection. It's divine suspense. You are unforgettable because your love wasn't human. Someone is being tormented by your silence. You weren't a chapter. You were the altar. God made them remember what they tried to replace. Your love stirred the holy inside them. They ran from the light. You are what their prayers forgot to describe. When they left, so did their covering. You are not crazy. You are chosen. Their soul still flinches at your name. What you gave wasn't love, it was restoration. They couldn't hold your heart because they never held their own. Your love baptized them in a way they couldn't explain. The wound isn't random, it's sacred. They were sent to choose you. They chose delay. You weren't asking for too much. You were asking for truth. Even your shadow taught them how to feel. They traded a miracle for a maybe. Your goodbye was holy. God disguised your heartbreak as armor. Their memory of you still makes heaven weep. You're still the safest place they never deserved. You were sent to awaken what they buried. They feel you in songs they pretend not to hear. You were never invisible, just hidden for timing. Someone's soul is aching to meet you again. Your silence now is louder than their absence ever was. You aren't forgotten. You are unfolding. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. You are not waiting. You are becoming. They'll recognize your spirit too late. What left you is never meant to last forever. You didn't fail. You were filtered out of harm. They ghosted you, but God guarded you. Even their pride can't silence what they feel for you. You healed what they never spoke aloud. Your presence made their demons uncomfortable. You were mistaken for a lesson, but you were the blessing. Their regret will arrive disguised as courage. You carry an anointing that love-starved souls can't handle. The space you left has not been filled. You weren't just love, you were home. They remember how your name felt. You showed them eternity. They chose escape. Your love rewrote their DNA. That's why they'll never be the same. You cried, but it was a release, not a loss. You're not abandoned. You're ascended. They replaced your body, not your spirit. You didn't chase closure. You became it. Their dreams still bleed your name. You didn't ruin them. You revealed them. That no saved your soul. You left, but your echo stayed. You were the miracle they weren't ready to hold. The connection broke because you were becoming too powerful. Even now, they hope to be seen by you. You carried a love too eternal for temporary minds. You are the ache they try to forget. You didn't leave. You were released. Your love shook the bones of their ancestry. They'll hear your name during their next prayer. What they rejected will be what they miss most. You didn't fall in love. You fell into destiny. You weren't their escape. You were their evolution. You planted peace. They harvested chaos. They outgrew your presence, but not your impact. You are still their unfinished sentence. God kept you soft for a reason. Your absence is sacred punishment. You weren't delayed. You were protected from premature connection. You are the sign they ignored. They'll revisit what they ridiculed. You were the prophecy they weren't ready for. Even silence can't hide your scent from their spirit. You weren't supposed to stay. You were supposed to stir. They hurt you because you healed them. You gave what their lineage never received. Your love broke generational chains and they ran. God let them forget you until memory becomes mercy. Your presence still lingers in the places they tried to cleanse. You became their turning point disguised as heartbreak. Even their new lover can't silence your name in their spirit. God removed you before they cursed your light. You were never the villain. You were the voice. They were drawn to your warmth, but feared the fire. You left, but their heart still lives in your shadow. What they touched wasn't your body, it was your divine purpose. You are the one they can't pray away. You aren't an ex, you're an eternal echo. Their soul remembers where it found shelter. The version of them you needed was buried beneath fear. You made them feel. That's what scared them. You didn't lose love, you outgrew fear. God kept your name hidden until the right one could honor it. They didn't block you. They're trying not to look for you. You walked away, but your energy stayed behind to finish the work. Their silence is loud because your memory still screams. Your goodbye was the holiest word they ever heard. Even the angels paused when you broke. Your tears baptized the timeline they're now stuck in. You are not their memory. You're their mirror. They loved you in secret because they feared your power in public. What they mocked in you, they now pray to find again. You weren't part of their story. You were the plot twist. You gave sacred love to someone who hadn't healed their shadow. You are the pause they still can't explain. You didn't walk away. You returned to yourself. God hid you in heartbreak, so no counterfeit could keep you. You weren't supposed to stay. You were supposed to awaken. They will see your face in every answered prayer they can't reach. You are the lesson they couldn't learn in time. They broke your heart, but couldn't break your anointing. Your love still burns under their denial. You are the reason they check their phone in silence. They let you go, now they chase ghosts. You are the dream they weren't brave enough to believe. They see you winning, and it terrifies them. You became their unfinished healing. You didn't just love, they encountered God through you. What they took for granted now haunts their joy. You never left their life, only their timeline. They weren't ready for the kind of love that reorders heaven. Their punishment is witnessing your prophecy unfold without them. You are the voice in their silence. What they buried still blooms in their chest. Your love lives in their regrets. They had access to your soul and still chose noise. You didn't lose them. You were released for a higher alignment. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Comment your favorite quote and subscribe for more. The divine is calling. Answer it. Now,